Hello everyone, and welcome to the second episode of my series where I complete every mission in Hitman in VR. In the last episode, I took the approach of completing every mission in Hitman VR, Silent Assassin and Suit only. However, I am going to be just completing the mission, as it's more fun for me and you, and the recording process is a lot more easier. If you think this video is really good, please consider liking or even subscribing, as I'm not a very big channel and, like any other person, would like to grow. Anyways, enough of the yap, let's just get into the video. This will be my loadout for the hit, and no, I'm not flexing, I'm just insanely more rich than you. I spawn on top of the balcony in the ICA safe house, and after having a great look at myself, I go into the room behind me. In this room, I find a golf ball which looks suspiciously filled with TNT, and after having a quick play around with it, I put it into my holster. I also find a kitchen knife which I'll probably use to cut myself if my online girlfriend doesn't let me back. I mean, seriously, she's a really nice dude, except from the overgrown beard and weird obsession to see my feet, but I guess it'll all be worth it in the end. I decide to leave my room, but then forget about a prized possession I've hidden in my suitcase. And that prized possession is my cold-blooded companion, Mohammed. Sadly, Mohammed didn't last that long. I head outside hoping for rain as I haven't showered in 3 months, but sadly I'm greeted with great weather. I proceed to take my frustration out on my neighbour by giving him a silly little prank. I start off my prank by stealing his bank card. After this, I throw a suitcase to get him to go somewhere else where I will shoot him in the back of the head. As Lee Harvey Oswald said, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Sadly, the original plan for my prank couldn't work because this stupid dickhead decided to face me, so I punch him in the back of the head instead, knocking him out. After closer inspection, I realize this is my online girlfriend. I beat the living shit out of him, filled with anger, but do hold back a bit as I like the new shave. After beating the fuck out of him, I start to feel a little bad, so I grab him by the neck and stroke him on the head with my pistol. After tucking him into bed and reading him an extract from the Quran, I then head off to the mansion where I will meet Francesca, Silvio, and the virus. I enter through a mysterious door and am greeted with a flight of stairs. After reaching the bottom of these stairs, I see a man who sits down on a couch. I also find his bank card as well. I sneak up behind him and try and swiftly knock him out, however, I cannot reach him as he is sat at the edge of his seat. That black screen must be really interesting for him to be sitting that far forward. I then decide just to go for it and risk it, and to my surprise, it actually worked. However, he is still awake, so I hit him in the back of the neck, which knocks him out. After launching him over the kitchen counter, I then find a place to hide his unconscious body. You know, it's funny, it reminds me when my dad used to beat my mother and she would be laying unconscious on the table and I'd have to drag her to her bed. After dumping him in the box, I decide that I want to take his disguise, and I basically look exactly like him, except that I have a lot less hair. I absolutely mog him, and I have several sexual offence charges to my name. After I head upstairs, I run into the kitchen, where I see 3 chefs cooking what looks to be an excellent meal. However, I think there's one more thing that could make their meal better: my help. So I start chopping the peppers, and one of the chefs look at me and gets scared and run off. So I stab him in the neck and proceed to shoot the other 2 chefs. How rude of them, I was only trying to help. Unfortunately, the meal is now ruined and I have 1 guard outside looking for me, which I shot in the head. After this, I steal the security's disguise, and then I make this friendly old guy rediscover gravity. After climbing through some random window, I find a letter which is on a desk with roses underneath. After looking at the letter, I realise that this is my second chance to actually get a girlfriend. Sadly, I realise the letter was not written for me, but for some golf coach, so I go up to him and proceed to follow him. After I've caught his attention, I try and hit him by sexually assaulting him. However, he did not like this kind gesture and started to follow me. After he finally catches up with me, I realise this is the perfect opportunity to take him out and the guard. After a couple of missed shots at the guard, I finally kill him and then pistol whip the golf coach. As I'm dragging the security away, some nosy guard comes up and tries to check on the golf coach who is unconscious. So I pistol whip the security as well. After killing everyone else, I proceed to rip off the golf coach's clothes and put them on. I also find this guy's phone, which contained many racially motivated Reddit tweets and Hitler speeches. I also find a large catalogue of homosexual pornography. After fleeing the scene and running around the mansion, I find a locked door, which I can unlock with my lockpick. This room contains many antiques, 2 guards, and my target. I decide to play a fun prank on the guard, but he sees me and does not think it's funny. In this moment, I realise I can use the same strategy I use on the golf coach, so I run outside, where the guard will follow me, and then I can deal with him. And then, with my gold-plated pistol, I whack him over the head. I find some cool-looking knife, and then I stab my target in the back of the neck. Luckily, the other guard didn't notice, so I stuff Silvio under the table. Now with one target down, there are only 2 left, Francesca and the virus. After a couple minutes of running around, I found my way back to the bedroom, where I'll proceed to call Francesca.
It's me.
Roberto, Silvio let you off early?
I want us to meet. Your room.
I should say no.
But you won't. See you soon.
Now, with the day all planned out, I decide to surprise her with a gold bar and a golf ball. After a minute of waiting, Francesca's finally arrived. However, after looking at me, she realises I'm actually chopped as shit and then struts off like a girl boss. After breaking my heart and strutting off like that, I get really mad, so I decide to shoot out her windows and throw a golf ball at her. For some reason, the guards get really angry at me and start to shoot at me, so I run away. After I've beaten up the mansion staff, I take his disguise. I'm now going to play a montage with some epic music of me shooting my way through the mansion. Now that I've dealt with them, I can head into the secret base down below using this blue keycard. Somehow, after all that shooting, none of the guards down here actually noticed anything. Nice security, guys. Now, I could just go down those stairs, however, there is a guard that will get suspicious of me if I go down there. However, there's no other clear way down, so I just run for it.
More security. Very well.
Unfortunately, I can't seem to get this door to work, so I just run for the secret tunnel. However, I have no idea where this leads to. Sadly, this mistake of running into a dead end will cost me my life.
Enough, amigo.
After my weak attempt to knock out the guard, it seems I have alerted the entire base. If you have no idea what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to give this guard a nice little neck massage.
He's right there.
Sadly, Agent 47's weak little arms gave out and I missed a knife throw, so I shoot the guard with my pistol. In this instance, I realise I have to take one step back so I can move 2 steps forward, so I blow open the wall. However, after exiting the cave, several Secret Service agents pop out of nowhere and kill me. I'm sorry I failed you guys, I really am. I really should have expected that. I'd forgotten to save my game, so I had to replay the entire mission again.
Hey, all respect to you.
For some reason, the guards aren't very happy with me, so I have to make an escape to the virus room.
We got him on my side. Don't shoot.
With my newly found disguise, I am now ready to step foot into the danger zone. Well, would you look at that? I finally made it.
There, in a sealed container.
After having a look at some rats, I decide to increase the temperature on the machine, which will indefinitely explode the virus. After pistol whipping and quick firing the scientists, I decide to make a quick escape as I do not want to be caught in the blast zone.
All objectives complete. Now head towards an exit.
After throwing my guns away as a tribute, I hop in the plane, and finally, I have completed Sapienza. I just want to say thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, as it was really fun for me to record and edit. So yeah, that's it. Bye.